Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Today, the topic is thermal stability of alkali metal compounds and flame test for metal ions. In this slide, we will discuss what is thermal stability, what are the factors which affect thermal stability, and thermal stability of group 1 compounds, thermal decomposition of group 1 compounds. The compounds include nitrates, carbonates, and hydrogen carbonates of alkali metals. And further, we will study what is flame test, its procedure, and its chemistry. Important questions about flame test, its applications, and its limitations. Let us start with thermal stability. Before starting thermal stability, we must know that what type of reactions we are going to study in this particular topic. In this topic, we will be discussing the thermal decomposition reaction of compounds. What is meant by thermal decomposition? Breakdown of a compound with the help of heat, or thermal breakdown of a compound with the help of heat is known as thermal decomposition reaction. And what is meant by the term thermal stability? Thermal stability refers to the resistance of a compound to decompose on heating. Thermal stability describes how easily a compound can be broken down by heat. How thermal stability is related with the decomposition temperature? The decomposition temperature of a substance is the temperature at which the substance chemically decomposes. जिस पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर पे एक सब्सटेंस डिकम्पोज करेगा, that particular temperature is known as its decomposition temperature. The decomposition temperature is directly related with the thermal stability. That means if a substance is having higher decomposition temperature, it is having higher thermal stability. So we can say that the thermal stability and the decomposition temperature of a compound, they are directly related with one another. So let us discuss the factors which affect the thermal stability of a compound. The thermal stability of an ionic compound, it depends upon two main factors: charges and the size of the ions. Basically, thermal stability is directly related with the polarizing power of ion, and polarizing power depends upon two factors which are charges and the size of the ions. What are the factors affecting the thermal stability? Compounds with large polarizable polyatomic anion, that means larger electronic cloud. For example, nitrate, bicarbonates or carbonates. These are the anions which are polyatomic and large. The thermal stability in this particular case, in which the compounds are having large polarizable polyatomic anion, the thermal stability depends upon the polarizing power of cations. As I have already told you that the polarizing power of cation depends upon two factors: charge and size. The polarizing power is directly proportional to the charge of the cation and inversely proportional to the size of the cation. So you must keep these two things in your mind. Now what happens when a cation has a strong polarizing power? The electron cloud of the anion will be distorted to greater extent. That means that the compound tends to be less thermally stable. So we can say that the thermal stability, it is inversely proportional to polarizing power. If the polarizing power of a cation is higher, the thermal stability will be less. As you are as you can see that it is a small cation and it is a large polarizable anion. So distortion of electronic cloud takes place. Anion is polarized, resulting in the less thermal stability. Now let us discuss the trend of thermal stability of group 1 compounds in a group. Down the group, the size of the cation, it is increasing. As I have already told you that the polarizing power is inversely proportional to the size. Greater the size of the cation, lesser will be the polarizing power. Compound with large anion become more stable. Thermal stability of nitrates, carbonates and hydroxides of group 1 metals increases down the group. Thermal stability increases down the group. The reason is the increase of the size of the cation, which results in the decreasing of polarizing power. And as I have already told you that thermal stability is inversely proportional to polarizing power. Lesser the polarizing power, greater will be the thermal stability. So that's why we can say that thermal stability increases down the group. That is, it becomes harder to decompose the metal compound. The size of the cation is increasing. The thermal stability is increasing. Now let us summarize the different factors which we have already discussed. The size of the cation increases. The charge density decreases. The polarizing power is inversely proportional to size. Size of the cation is increasing, so polarizing power is decreasing. Distortion of electronic cloud of anion, it will decrease. Why? Because polarizing power is decreasing. When distortion of electronic cloud of anion decreases, the weakening of bond within the anion to a lesser extent, and which results in the increase of thermal stability, increase of decomposition temperature, and ease of thermal decomposition, it decreases. Decomposition temperature and thermal stability, they are directly related with one another. अगर हम कह सकते हैं कि थर्मल स्टेबिलिटी किसी कंपाउंड की ज़्यादा है तो दैट मीन्स more temperature is required to decompose that particular compound. Same here, the size of the cation increases, charge density of the cation decreases, the polarizing power of cation decreases, thermal stability increases, and decomposition temperature increases down the group. Now let us discuss the thermal decomposition of group 1 compounds, thermal decomposition of nitrates, carbonates, and hydrogen carbonates. Most nitrates tend to decompose on heating to give metal oxide, brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide and oxygen gas. एक टिपिकल नाइट्रेट यहाँ पर हमने ग्रुप 2 का लिया हुआ है, मैग्नीशियम नाइट्रेट. It is decomposing and form magnesium oxide, this brown color gas, NO2 and oxygen. Now we will compare the behavior या the thermal decomposition of group 1. Keep one thing in your mind that lithium is resembling in behavior with group 2. एक चीज़ मैं आपको बताती चलूँ कि हर ग्रुप का जो फर्स्ट मेंबर है that is in group 1A the topmost member is lithium. In group 2A the topmost member is beryllium. They deviate from the regular trend. लिथियम का बिहेवियर अपने ग्रुप मेंबर्स के साथ मैचिंग नहीं होता, बल्कि ये दूसरे ग्रुप के साथ मैचिंग इसकी होती हैं प्रॉपर्टीज. इसकी प्रॉपर्टीज दूसरे ग्रुप के सेकंड मेंबर के साथ रिजेंबल करती हैं डायगनली. So we can say that the lithium will behave like magnesium. और सेम इसी तरीके से ग्रुप 2 का जो टॉप मोस्ट मेंबर है दैट इज बेरिलियम, दैट विल रिजेंबल एल्यूमिनियम, द सेकेंड मेंबर ऑफ द नेक्स्ट ग्रुप. इसको कहते हैं डायगोनल रिलेशनशिप, जिसमें टॉप मोस्ट मेंबर ऑफ ईच ग्रुप shows resemblance with the next group. So due to diagonal relationship, the behavior of lithium nitrate and magnesium nitrate will be same. Like you can see the formation of oxide, the formation of NO2 gas and oxygen. Now, other than lithium, the remaining group nitrates like sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate and so on, they do not decompose so completely, at least at Bunsen temperature. They on decomposition produces metal nitrite and oxygen gas, but no NO2 gas. Oxide formation in the case of lithium, but in the case of remaining group member nitrates, there is no oxide formation, but there is nitrite formation and oxygen gas. All the nitrates from sodium to cesium decompose in this way. The only difference is there how hot they have to be heated to undergo this reaction. That means the decomposition temperature. As we already know that down the group, the atomic size is increasing, the polarizing power is decreasing, the thermal stability is increasing, and same, the decomposition temperature is also increasing. That means that we have to use higher temperature to decompose the nitrate of the cesium and rubidium. Thermal decomposition of carbonates. Let us discuss the behavior of group 2 carbonates. Calcium carbonate decomposes to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Lithium will also shows the similar behavior due to diagonal relationship. Lithium carbonate decomposes to form lithium oxide and carbon dioxide. The rest of the group 1 carbonates, they do not decompose at Bunsen temperature, although they will decompose at higher temperature. The decomposition temperature again increases as you go down the group. Same is the reason that as we move down the group, the atomic size is increasing, the polarizing power of cation is decreasing, the thermal stability is increasing, and the decomposition temperature is also increasing. Then the thermal decomposition of hydrogen carbonates. The hydrogen carbonates like calcium hydrogen carbonate are so unstable to heat that they only exist in solution. Any attempt to get them out of solution causes them to decompose to give carbonate, carbon dioxide and water. Calcium is a member of group 2A and its bicarbonate or hydrogen carbonate, it decomposes to form carbonate, carbon dioxide and water. But on the other hand, sodium hydrogen carbonate are stable enough to exist as solid, although they do decompose easily on heating. For example, for sodium hydrogen carbonate, it decomposes to form sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide and water. That's all with thermal stability. Now we will discuss the flame test of metalline. What do you know about flame test? A flame test is an analytical procedure used in chemistry to detect the presence of certain elements, primarily metallines, based on each element's characteristic emission spectrum. पार्ट 2 में जब आप प्रैक्टिकल परफॉर्म करेंगे सॉल्ट एनालिसिस का, तो उसमें भी आपको ये फ्लेम टेस्ट करना पड़ेगा. इन सॉल्ट एनालिसिस you are given the unknown salt and you have to find out that salt with the help of different tests and techniques. So flame test basically is an analytical procedure which is used to detect the presence of certain elements, primarily metal ions. Flame tests rely on the idea that each element has a characteristic set of emissions and will produce a unique and characteristic color when heated. The sample is identified by comparing the observed flame color against known values from a table or a chart. Whatever color you are getting in the experiment, you can compare that observed flame color with the colors available in the chart to check or to identify the sample. These are the flame colors of various elements: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and copper. Now let us discuss its chemistry or origin of flame color. Flame color are produced from the movement of electrons in the metal ions present in the compounds. The heat of the flame excites the electrons in the metal ions. The electron absorbs energy and jumps from the ground level to a higher energy level in the atom and goes into exciting state. And exciting electron decays and falls back to the ground level, which emits photon and causes flame color. Look at the figure. This is the ground state. The electrons revolving around the nucleus will absorb the energy from the flame, from the heat of the flame, and get excited. Then this excited state electron, it de-excites, it decays and emits a photon, which is responsible for the color of the flame. The excited electron produces one or more specific lines in the visible light spectrum that corresponds to the element's distinct electronic configuration. ये जो पैटर्न आता है लाइंस वाला, ये हर एलिमेंट टू एलिमेंट इट डिफर्स. इनकी पोजीशंस, इनके दरमियान की स्पेसिंग्स, ये तमाम डिफर करती हैं. इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कन्फिग्रेशन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर एलिमेंट. तो इमिशन स्पेक्ट्रा है बेसिकली ये इन द विजिबल रीजन. How to carry out the flame test in the lab? Procedure of flame test or practical details. First of all, you need to clean a platinum or nichrome wire. What is nichrome? Nichrome is a wire which is made up of a nickel chromium alloy. And you have to clean these wires with the help of concentrated hydrochloric acid and then holding it in a hot non-luminous Bunsen flame. Bunsen flame के regions होते हैं luminous flame and non-luminous flame. Repeat this until the wire does not produce any color in the flame. आपने ये क्लीनिंग का प्रोसेस प्लैटिनम और नाइक्रोम वायर जो भी आप यूज़ कर रहे हैं ये तब तक करना है जब तक कि आपके फ्लेम में कोई कलर नहीं आता. द रीज़न बिहाइंड दिस स्टेप इज़ कि एट टाइम्स कोई सॉलिड स्टिक हुआ हुआ रह जाता है वायर के ऊपर, जिसकी वजह से फिर आपका कलर उस इम्प्योरिटी की वजह से आएगा और आपके रिजल्ट्स ख़राब करेगा. So you have to make sure that the wire you are using, whether platinum or nichrome, is free from all sort of impurities. When the wire is clean, moist it again with some of the acid and dip it into the small amount of the solid you are testing. बेसिकली आपने कंसंट्रेटेड हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड और सॉलिड का एक तरह से पेस्ट बना लिया। आप इसको अलग से पेस्ट बना के थिक सा वायर के ऊपर लगा के भी कर सकते हैं। आप ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं कि कुछ एसिड पहले से मॉइस्ट किया हुआ हो और हल्का सा डिप करें आप सॉलिड में, तो वहां पर भी वो आपका बन जाएगा। उसके बाद आपने इसको फ्लेम में लेके जाना है और फ्लेम का कोई ना कोई कलर आएगा। अगर आपका फ्लेम का कलर वीक आता है, इतना स्ट्रांग नहीं आ रहा, तो आप दोबारा से उस वायर को एसिड में और वो कर सकते हैं डिप, और दोबारा वो क्लीन करने के बाद दोबारा आप इसका कर सकते हैं टू टेक द इंटेंस फ्लैश ऑफ द कलर like this. This table shows the flame test colors for 6 common metal ions, which includes mostly alkali metals and alkaline earth metals. Lithium red color, sodium ion golden yellow color, potassium ion lilac or violet color, calcium ions orange red, barium green, and copper plus 2 ions ka blue green. Some important questions. Why platinum wire is used in flame test? Why not any other wire? What is the reason why we are using platinum wire? Because platinum does not impart any color to the flame. This is very important. अगर आप कॉपर वायर ले रहे होते तो कॉपर तो इटसेल्फ फ्लेम के अंदर कलर प्रोड्यूस करता है, तो वो आप इसलिए यूज नहीं कर सकते। प्लैटिनम को लेने का मकसद ये है कि प्लैटिनम कोई कलर इंपार्ट नहीं करता। मींस कहने का मकसद ये है कि ये फ्लेम टेस्ट शो नहीं करता। सेकेंड मेन इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन इज इट इज नॉट ऑक्सीडाइज्ड अंडर द हाई टेम्परेचर ऑफ द फ्लेम फ्रॉम अ बंसन फर्मर. It is almost chemically inert. So these three factors, they are the reasons that why platinum wire is used. Nichrome wire is used because it is heat resistant. It is having high melting point, and platinum wire is expensive. That's why we can use nichrome wire as well. Now, why hydrochloric acid is used in the flame test? Why not any other acid like sulfuric acid, nitric acid? Why we are using concentrated hydrochloric acid only? The purpose of using concentrated hydrochloric acid is to convert the compounds into their metallic chlorides. Because the metallic chlorides are very much volatile. Volatile means they are easily converted into vapors. So it becomes easier कि आप इसको इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को क्लोराइड्स की फॉर्म में आप आराम से मेटल के एटम्स को एक्साइट कर सकते हैं और इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को हायर एनर्जी लेवल पे लेके जा सकते हैं। ठीक है। Why do alkali metals impart color to the flame? Nearly all of the alkali metals, they undergo flame test. The reason is their low ionization energy. Their loosely held electron can easily be excited to any higher energy level. And when these electrons, they return to the ground state, the absorbed energy is emitted in the visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum, and hence the flame color appears. In the case of alkaline earth metals, beryllium and magnesium, they do not impart any color to the flame. Group 2A के एलिमेंट्स में से बेरिलियम और मैग्नीशियम फ्लेम टेस्ट नहीं देते, और बाकी जो ग्रुप 2 के एलिमेंट्स हैं वो देते हैं। इसकी क्या रीज़न है? बिकॉज बेरिलियम एंड मैग्नीशियम, दे आर हैविंग स्मॉल एटॉमिक साइज एंड हाई आयोनाइजेशन एनर्जी when compared to their other alkaline earth metals. The energy of the flame is not sufficient to excite the electrons of beryllium and magnesium to higher levels, so they do not produce any color in the Bunsen flame. So we can say that the flame test, it is not applicable to all the types of metal atom. It is only applicable on some selective elements. What are the applications of flame test? Metal ions emit a specific color when heated, which identifies them in the sample. Flame tests use simple equipment, making them ideal for field work. Geologists use the flame test to identify the presence of metals. Forensic scientists can use flame test at crime scenes for quick analysis of elements present. Miners use the test for analysis of sample, particularly when prospecting. Flame tests provide a good teaching tool for chemistry students learning about emission spectra. Now, what are the limitations of the flame test? The test cannot detect low concentration of most ions. The brightness of the signal varies from one sample to another. For example, the yellow emission from sodium is much brighter than the red emission from the same amount of lithium. Impurities can affect the test results. सोडियम इन पर्टिकुलर, आपको पता है कि सोडियम बहुत सारे कंपाउंड्स में एज एन इम्प्योरिटी है. तो फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप किसी और आयन का के लिए टेस्ट करना चाह रहे हैं तो सोडियम की वजह से फ्लेम का कलर आ जाएगा. तो हम इसको कह सकते हैं कि अगर सोडियम के साथ कोई और पर्टिकुलर एलिमेंट ऐसा मिक्स हुआ है, लिथियम या कुछ और, तो उसकी वजह से फिर आपके रिजल्ट्स एक्यूरेट नहीं आएंगे. The test cannot differentiate between all elements. Several metals produce the same flame color. Some compounds do not change the color of the flame at all. That's all for today. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.